Hello and welcome. Today I'll be going over the KR Sabers Fortis Hilt. This is the box for the hilt. You've got a nice wireframe image of the side of the hilt here on top of the box. And this is a very bespoke hilt in its design. The cutout along here, the profile, the side profile there, where that is nice and concave there, like the top of a skateboard deck. It makes it beautifully comfortable to hold, and what's really interesting is that it's knurled, and so you can't use a traditional knurling wheel on anything that's not cylindrical or flat. So each individual knurl on this has been individually machined, which makes it very interesting. A lot of attention has gone into the manufacturing of this hilt. And even on the pommel here, which I love the knurling on the pommel as well, it just makes it easier to unscrew. Cal has gone over some of the wobbliness you may experience of certain areas of the hilt, and how you can remedy those issues. Loctite being the main feature, but I have not secured anything down with Loctite yet. That might be my next job for this panel. One feature of the KR Sabers, these kind of custom hilts, is that there's a great capability to etch these giant shields and get some lovely artwork going on them, of which I still haven't had any etched hilts. If you are an etcher within the UK and you'd like to show off a bit of work, reach out to me and we'll see what we can do to get this over to you and etch it, and then I will do a lovely little review and show off your work. But yes, I've never had anything etched, but this might be the right time. As it is at the moment, this shield reminds me of the JSJ Survivor, in that it's polished aluminium, so it just captures every single bit of grease in your hand. No matter how clean and dry you think your hands are, this will tell you otherwise. It's wonderful. Yeah, it really picks up every single bit of dust and dirt, and yeah, so if you're going to be handling that, you're going to have to get used to it not being completely clean. But yeah, a bit of etching on there should resolve that issue quite nicely. Love a bit of etching on there actually. So yeah, anybody out there in the UK who wants to do a bit of etching, show me your profile, let's go over what you've got and we'll see if we can send this over to you and get some work done. I have already installed this with my own custom chassis. Where have I put it? Right there. There's a fixed part of the chassis in here already for the switches and the emitter PCB, using a stock MPXL 2-button PCB pin side up here, of which I've also got an alignment tooth on it as well. So with this hilt, you naturally want this to slide in and out with somewhat ease. You don't want it to be really hard to pull back out after you put it in. And those sliding tolerances can cause you a problem if it's not done correctly. So one problem you might have is you put it in there, and instead of revolving around this cylinder area here, you know, which would be fine if it did, because then all those traces aren't skipped. But if it revolves around this area down here, you might find that the cradle turn in it might cause you to skip a trace with one of your pins, and therefore you've got a problem and you might create an electrical problem, maybe fry out your board. So I've put an alignment tooth in my chassis here, so as I put it in, it should guide it in and hold it in position, making sure it can't rotate. That's just something that I thought would be extra safe to do. So on with my chassis, I've got a profi board here, stock Bluetooth unit here, crystal chamber with single pixel, high amp kill switch, removable 18350 battery, OLED screen and 22mm speaker at the bottom. The reason I've got an 18350, removable 18350, is because I want to try and get a Bluetooth unit in there and the OLED screen with a chamber. And no, you know, it could be possible to do it with an 18650. I didn't want to have a difficult time wiring this one up. I wanted to, you know, have my traditional way of where you've got loads of wiring space up here and you're not seating on anything too far that's pushing against your profi board. So I opted just for a smaller battery anyway. 22mm speakers are great. They project the sound very loudly and very cleanly, I should add. I tend to just go these days from 22 to the 25mm KR Sabers speakers to 28s. I don't tend to mess around with anything else. These little Veco speakers are really good, really clear, and quite inexpensive as well. So I've got this loaded up with a load of sound fonts from Jesse at Kyberphonic.
Well, this sure beats staying on the ship.
You see my Bluetooth flashing there, OLED screen's working there, and my chamber is pulsing. So let's get this in here. Right, so it's just... So you'll find that, you know, because of the non-concentric diameters down the centre, when you slide in your Goth chassis, say, you will just have to turn it to the right orientation to continue sliding it all the way down. Like so. I'm just going to check. Yep, that works like a dream. Put your pommel on, tighten it up all the way, like so, and there we go. My top button here is the power button, my bottom button here is the aux. You can tell it's a very loud hilt.
Name's Mira. I am best to
Darth Revan.
I think a nice purple blade suits this hilt quite well. Yeah, this is great. This is a personal project, so I'm not releasing the chassis publicly for anybody to print and buy. It's just for me. This is a wonderful hilt, great one to add to my collection, but I am looking forward to possibly getting this shield etched and seeing what somebody can come up with artistically. It is wonderful. Yes. Apart from the fingerprints. But it's just something everybody's got to get used to on highly polished hilts. But yeah, wonderful. This grip section here makes for a wonderful single-handed hilt. You can get two hands on here, but I feel like it just suits a single hand wonderfully. And there we have it, a wonderful hilt. And it was easy to install and get all of those bits inside that chassis as well, so I had a great time with this one. Right, thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the next video.